Evening, everybody. Evening. Well, it's a bit of a somber one today, isn't it? Unfortunately, we couldn't quite handle Lincoln. But yeah, it was a good first half. Sorry, I'm just doing something here. It was a good first half, but then again, we go and falter and give it away to a team that is in form. But before I do the proper intro, evening to all that are watching. And in the house tonight, we have Gavin, Carl, Harvey's in as well tonight, and Andy. So, Gavin, just quickly summarize how you're feeling tonight.
Oh, I'm over the moon. Ploughed all my money back into Hypnos earlier, and the shares have gone through the roof. So I'm buzzing.
Do I need should I have my umbrella out?
If you want.
I think wetsuits would be more appropriate tonight.
It's not bedwetting anymore. It's whether there's a shallow end or a deep end. That's what you need to understand. Who's in which camp?
This is why I always say to the guys, I stay off looking at that and getting involved because it's just not worth it. It's tough. It was a difficult one, Carl, wasn't it? How are you feeling, though?
Mentally drained. I haven't slept a lot the last 36 hours. I've only slept 3 hours before the game. And yeah, the game wasn't... I mean, the first half, don't get me wrong, was great, wasn't it? But the second half, it was just, like 2 months ago when we were just slow, laboured and struggling. Yeah, not the best.
No. And you got Sophia with you. Sophie sat next to me, but you can't see her just off screen. Harvey's back with us. Looks like you've had a haircut recently, Harvey, or is it just not styled?
Oh, just not styled. Just
you haven't washed it. That's what it is.
Yeah. I ain't had my weekly shower yet, so gotta wait till after football tomorrow.
How are you feeling, mate?
Yeah. No, you know what? I think that coming into the game, I think we all sort of knew, didn't we? We all had that little bit in behind us that we didn't want to believe. But just overall a bit disappointed by the full-time result.
Yeah, and Andy, you're back as well after suffering a little bit like Gavin has recently. So that didn't obviously help with you feeling better today, really, did it?
No, it didn't help at all, mate. I thought we started really well, but just fizzled out as soon as Pepper went off. I just think season over now for us. We just got to focus for next season now.
Yeah, no, don't disagree. It's, I don't know, folks. Right, there's a lot of you in the chat, so I'll come to you in a second. But right, let's get it going properly. So, until Stockport away, Argyle were unbeaten in 2026 and on an impressive unbeaten away run with sight of the playoffs. Now with 2 back-to-back defeats, including today's home game to Lincoln City, the reality of Argyle's injury situation, lack of those experienced and quality players is creeping back in. With 7 players out injured today and in recent games, influential Joe Rules, leading goal scorer Lawrence Halai, Connor Hazard, and in the Stockport game, Galloway, Argyle have struggled to finish games off. We have started bright in these last 3 games for the first 45 minutes, but something then changes. And the second half, we just seem to lose our discipline and shape, allowing opposition teams to take advantage. Stockport, you could argue Watts for his halftime substitution for ill discipline, and certainly Pebble today, who was causing Lincoln's defence all sorts of issues, tipped the balance in those games. But there are still 10 other players in that first half then who seem to look lost at sea come the second, and switching off to teams who are in good form will punish you. Hammond, well, wasn't his best game today, was it? We've been fans of him, but his distribution's been off today and in the game before, and certainly at fault for 1, if not 2, of the goals, and giving Lincoln that 3-1 lead all but killed Argyle off. In the last 4 games, we conceded 10 goals since Hazard's injury and missing other key players. The playoffs are now truly, are they, out of sight? And as cleverly said in his post-match, he needs to find the reasons behind these second half performance drops. Oh, I'm going to come in order. So, Gavin, just summarise up then the overall game before we start getting into player details and stuff as we always do. And, folks, I do have the goals and the post-match interviews, unfortunately, for you.
Bright start, which is, standard. Played 4-4-2. They played 4-2-3-1. They're a very big physical side that like to play quite directly, as you probably imagine. I think their smallest player seemed like he'd be about 6 foot. You can tell it's a big side when Sonny Bradley doesn't tower over everybody. And I thought we handled the early play well. Our press was good and strong. Apple held the ball up really well. Watts looked tidy, if not Superman-like, but he was effective. I thought the new Wes Harding started really brightly, apart from getting a yellow card for being a little bit too overzealous for telling the right referee he was wrong. We'll leave that one. And Super Pepple does it again, doesn't he? What was this? 27, 28, 29 yards from nowhere, no touch, left foot off the post, 1-0. And we were brilliant, I thought, for 30, 35 minutes. And then, the series of brain farts happened between our back four and our goalkeeper, which was a series of calamities that left us reeling at 1-1 at half time. And then the second half, I think what happened was, instead of having oranges, they all lay down and all were given a lobotomy. One by one in the 15-minute break, and they came out brainless and like they'd never played together before in their lives. A couple of calamities from our goalkeeper. One going through his hands for a Russell Coughlin style goal. If you remember that corner back in the day when he scored one with his left peg to score in the opposite top corner. Yeah. Harding gives the ball away. We don't react quick enough, and we blink and they score. And then the fourth one is just basically we're pushed up too high, ball over the top. Great finish for a guy who's, I think, on his debut for them, actually. Okay. So, yeah, not the best afternoon, I have to say. It shows that the spine of the team's missing in a big way. We desperately need Hazard back as soon as possible. I won't go any further on that one at the minute. And I thought, we needed the highlight of my day was seeing Herbie Kane do his best Jamie Tart impression on the famous "Give me the ball, I want the ball" running across the line, and then they score out wide by it was can't remember the guy's name on Ted Lasso, but he never got the ball. He was like screaming for the ball every time he was on the pitch. He got in some nice areas to take the ball, and we decided to pass back across the back four and the back three, which was a bit disappointing. But he came on, and I thought his first 2 minutes were probably some of the best 2 minutes of a debut of any player I think I've ever seen. Yeah. So he's clearly got some talent. But yeah, it's a bit down in the dumps, really. I'm not bedwetting too hard because we've got some big players coming back, and our running looks quite a lot easier than we've had in the last 3 or 4 weeks. But not a memorable day, I would suggest.
No, well, thanks for that, Gavin. I know a lot of this is going to sound repeatable, so I'm just conscious. I'm going to come to Harvey specifically in a minute on Hammond, but Carl, much else you want to add to that from Gavin? Obviously, we had debuts from Wes Harding today, and obviously, as Gavin said, we saw Herbie come on in the second half, and there was that one little spell link up with Amici, and I think it was Sukes that got us all a little bit excited, and then it did fizzle out. But yeah, go on. What are your thoughts to add to Gavin's?
Yeah, not too similar, really. I think we can all agree. Maybe going into the game, I thought, off recent form, we'll give them a game. Obviously, the first half at Stockport, we were really good, but Stockport came into that game and we kind of finished us off. We didn't really have an answer, so I thought going into that again, another strong first half showing, like we have done for several weeks now. We seem to perform really well in the first half. I thought everyone, to a man, probably played well enough in the first half. Watson, Pepple played well together. I thought Pepple's before he went off with his injury was excellent. His goal again, similar to the Luton goal from 25 yards out, always makes it look better when it comes off the post as well. But yeah, it's just a shame that he had to go off, and we didn't really recover from that. To be honest, I think Aseni struggled when he came on. He didn't look fit enough. He just looked 10, 20 yards off the pace, and Watts wasn't really pressing or showing any intensity either. So he didn't really get any support. So he was kind of like on his own up there, which didn't really work, and that played into Lincoln's hands and especially Sonny Bradley's hands. So yeah, we never really got going. And obviously they get the equaliser before half time, which then we go in a bit down in the dumps into the into the break, and we never really got going into the second half either. They pushed us. Again, we saw lots of passing back, lots of sideways passing, like we saw a couple of months ago. We just didn't seem to have an answer. Everyone was backing off. We weren't pressing up high. The changes for me came maybe a little bit too late. Thought Herbie Kane's cameo was decent. But like Gavin said, he was in space quite a few times. I think Harding was guilty a couple of times not passing to him. And he was literally there in acres of space and give me the ball, and he goes back, and it's just like annoying. So yeah, I think Herbie Kane is probably going to be a solid signing for us at this level. You can see he's got quality. You can see he smokes a lot of cigarettes, and he's a little bit overweight, but that's fine. He's got enough quality to overcome that.
Oh, welcome to the Blockline podcast.
Well, no, that's what we got told. He loves a fag and he loves a scrap, so you can see that in him.
It's a cigar he likes. Oh, not
he
a
looks
fag.
feisty.
He's a bit Barry Bannon, actually.
He's very similar. He's even got the big.
He's a bit Barry Bannon, but
if
if we were going to be TFI Friday, he'll come out and say, "I'm a fat Barry Bannon," and then he'll go out again, and everyone would clap.
He's even got a bald patch, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's Barry. I mean, I saw his head all day because I was above, but he's Barry Bannon.
And then, obviously, I was glad to see Patterson get some minutes, but again, he barely got into the game. Had many touches, did he? Which was a shame. And yeah, they took the game to us and finished us off, and we didn't really even the last 10 minutes. I thought, if we grab one now, we might get back into it. And that fourth just killed us off. And like Gavin said, we were pressing up high. Nobody was at fault for the fourth goal. We just couldn't get back in to defend it.
No, well, what I'm going to do, instead of just going straight to everybody and a little bit of wanting it not to be rinse and repeat, I'm just going to read some comments, and then Harvey will play your video, like you said at the end, and then get your thoughts. But evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Michael Hawks earlier saying, evening all, bad day at the office today, for both of us, as they lost, Reading lost 3-2. Brian from Boston, Massachusetts says, evening all, better days ahead. I got a little video to share of him and of Brian and a few of the others watching the game today from over the pond. Just a Jana evening, he says, don't care what statisticians say with credit, but today is Hammond's fifth own goal, including friendlies. Enough is enough. He touched and influenced their third, and it went in. Give Baker a chance. Kami Tarasaki says, hello, everyone. What can be said about Hammond? We all knew the transfer window should have been a goalkeeper and another striker bought, and now it's too late. Also, just as Janice said, but shame on the ones who booed him. I've never been a fan of own goal hamster, but will never boo a member of the team. Just be it's good that just be disappointed and hope for improvement. Yeah, I didn't think that was necessary. Nikki also says good evening and a full house. Brian, just Jana, I agree. We have to try something new. Alex at Argyle is in as well, and paired with the channel. Well done, Argyle. Whoop whoop whoop. Evening all, and Harvey. Graham Burns says I couldn't watch after their second went in. Felt like a carbon copy of Stockport. And also other games where we've just seemed to have switched off. Matt's in Argo 83 saying evening. Who else we got in? Maya Channel 2024 says hi, Harvey. Also as paired on the YouTube, so thank you for that. Baz in the Cloud says evening. Agree. Really sad to hear the boo. Shocking behaviour. How's that giving confidence to him? Paul F2V8Y says Lincoln would struggle if they went up in the championship, but you would take it. VW Coco says good evening to you. Stevie Vaughan as well says good evening, guys. Sitting on the naughty step. He also it was further down, actually I'll come to it in a minute. VW Coco says poor booing for Ashley B. Hammond as well. He agrees. Let me read out some other ones. Heather as well is in the chat, who brings us the Argyle women's updates every Thursday. Good evening, gents, and Carl watching from Barry Island. What we got, Terry Alford's in as well. We need a keeper. ours was crap today. That's pretty much a summary note on the head. Playoffs, crying emoji from Argo83. Who else have I seen come in? Sam, who's also retweeted on X, says, evening everyone, can't wait for this season to end already. So frustrating at times, especially at Home Park. And Debbie Firthson as well. Good evening all. Sorry, running late. Here now, hope everybody is well. Mr. Magoo says, losing BIM changed the game, didn't it? Just for the worse. Sadly, second half was a shambles. On to the next one, and hope it will get better. Come on, you Greens. I'm going to still read out a few more. Bear with me. Matt Montgomery, unfortunately for me, the pressing game can only be maintained for 30 minutes, then melts away like an ice cube in the Sahara. Yes, we have a major injuries to answer TC's timing and subs poorly. And let me just check what else we got. Lincoln has scored 18 goals from set pieces, more than any other team in League One. And boy, are they physical with it as well. What else have we got in here? Let me read another one. Mark says, evidence was there in the first half with the pockets of space the Imps were finding in the first half. So it proved second half. Absolutely dismal lack of everything after the break. The Dwarfs and several uninterested players are on the pitch today. Regardless of Luke Ashby-Hammond, we were physically beaten. This is a mess, and I can't see this changing with all of those reoccurring injuries. The fight is on. There's a lot of you and a lot of comments, so I try and read as many as I can, but I'm going to move to Harvey, but I'm going to go to his video, and then no doubt he's probably still feeling the same. Come on.
Right then, it's last full time. Plymouth Argyle 1, Lincoln City 4, and they ran away with that second half. Big mistake by Ashby-Hammond with the corner, sort of killed the momentum and gave him the third goal. We just didn't really turn up. It's a party in that away end, you can hear them chanting probably through the video. Empty seats by the 80th minute. It felt like old Argyle. I think the most exciting thing about that second half was the amount of seagulls that flew around Denport end and gave us a little bit of joy because the football was appalling. But we move on. Dust our sorrows. It's one of them where you've got to respect that they're having a great season and where they are in the league depicts their performances and they're picking up points away from home and they're pulling apart sides. But to go 1-0 up to them and get nothing out of the game and to lose convincingly is disappointing and is poor. But we move on now to Blackpool away. I'm pretty sure someone said near me that it's 16th versus 17th. We need to pick up points.
While Gavin was still checking out the bedwetting on X, as Harvey's longest video we've had, actually, that went on for over a minute, more than you usually do. But yeah, you can hear that in your voice. I think everybody felt that deflated afterwards. Pick up on, let's pick up on Ashby-Hammond. We were talking in the lobby about it. We've been big advocates of sort of trying to bring him into the game because his distribution, when we've had our strongest starting 11, I will note, his distribution can be very effective. He has conceded, obviously, those 10 goals in those 4 games. It's no coincidence. And to balance it, I've said that, with obviously losing some key players, the defence, and when they have, in the midfield defence side of things has been poor, and we've not helped the situation for Hammond either. But yeah, he handed the game to him effectively today with that third goal, didn't he?
Yeah. I feel let down by him, if I'm being truly honest. I'd say I was quite a big advocate to bring him into the squad. I think I was voicing it most weeks more than I didn't come towards the start of his running that he's had, that he's probably going to be a bit better option than Hazard. Today, I just don't think he was quite at it, and I don't think he's been quite at it these past few games. From being honest, as a goalkeeper, your main responsibility before you've got to think about anything else is to stop the ball going into the back of the net before you think about distribution and all them other aspects of goalkeeping. And I think, it's clear that he's conceding more than he's saving game by game. And today was a big example of it. I can't recall him making a save, and I don't like speaking bad about him too much like this. And what summed it up was after the third goal went in today, someone who sits near me, I don't know if they'll be watching now, but they watched the live streams and they said that I can't back him anymore, and that sort of sums it up. I don't agree with the booing. That's for definite. I think that I seen a comment, someone saying that if you pay your money, you should be able to. I 100% get that, but it does nothing for the morale of the player or the team.
Yeah. He knew he messed up, Harvey, didn't he?
100%. And what I know as a goalkeeper myself and as footballers, he'll be beating himself up more than every single fan will be put together. And that might be quite hard to imagine because 10,000 people or however many are not happy with him, but he'll be his biggest culprit of disagreeing with himself and he'll think about it all of tonight, tomorrow, and most of next week, what he could have done wrong, what he could have done better, what went wrong, what he done wrong. So it's one of them where, got to grin and bear it, and he's got to make it right next game.
Yeah, because how long's Harvey? Do we know how long Hazard's going to be out for still?
I think it's another week or two. Gavin will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's another week.
Sorry, Hazard's back next week for Blackpool.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good to be paying attention, Gavin.
I'm typing something. I can't do two things.
You just asked him to send you a photo.
You've literally just said, "Can you send me the name?" I've just typed the name, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, concentrating, are you?"
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to just give us all something to laugh about and joke about.
Eagles done a good job, though.
Say again.
Them Seagulls done a good job. I don't know if any of you heard it, but the Denport end.
That was the most entertaining thing in the second. I was watching them.
Yeah, you've only come for the pasties. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I've seen a few comments, and obviously, there is online, people now calling Cleverly out again. And, evening, Dane, but his comment there, well, the club stinks, not good enough on and off the pitch. Manager is clueless, fans are crap. Who boos their own players, can't wait for the season to be over. I think there's still, there's clear evidence that when it comes together with the players not being off injured, it works, and it works very, very well. And you can't give that or deny that from Cleverly. But like we said, yes, we have lost key players, the experience of rules, Talai up front, who is a menace, Peppel today, who was a menace. Aseni was on that run, when Talai was off a suspension, and he put in a good show, but today just wasn't anywhere in the game. I think it's just, you've got to get to the end of this season. And, Andy, I said that in our WhatsApp group, didn't I? We just got to consolidate. If the table flips again and suddenly you find yourself up there, but you could be back down there. But if we can just stabilize our situation and just get to the end, then I think there will be a bit of a clear out, and start sorting out some of the players that, say he Cleverly will actually want, and Derek Adams can equally plan in with him, because we could get these players back, but we could also lose some more to injuries as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just want it done now, mate. I've had enough of this season already. It's been so inconsistent. Just when you think the club's coming back to life, all of a sudden you get results like Stockport and you get today's result, and it just throws you back down, doesn't it, again? So you just write it off and start again next season.
Yeah, it is. And you can also, I mean, for me, as I can't remember if it was Kyle that touched on it or someone did, but Watts today, he was a menace in the game against Stockport, but, and then obviously his ill discipline was forced in that change at halftime. And Amici, which we'll come on to later, but just doesn't bring anything.
It just makes you think whether Clevy said something to him, obviously at halftime up at Stockport, saying, you're being too much, you're pressing too much, you're being too, what's the word I'm looking for?
Aggressive.
Intensive. He just seemed he did a little bit in the first half, a little bit of pressing, but he just seemed well off what he normally is. He's normally in your face and he's closing down every ball. He just seemed to not really be at the races at all today.
He looked off the pace all game, and there was times when he just didn't look interested for me.
No, we said that, didn't we? As all of us sat together, said that he just...
is this the same Watts that we bought from Exeter and he hit that really blinded start of the season, or is this someone different,
But and Andy, that's
got rid of him.
the thing, though, isn't it? The injury, like you pick up an injury, you're out for a little while, and you're trying to get back into it when your team isn't doing great. Although he came back into it off the back of obviously an unbeaten run, but yeah, just today he just looked like he was off a yard or 2 or 3 off the pace, and just wasn't really, his head wasn't really in it, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was nowhere near it. I've seen them play better, put it that way, and I've seen better performances from people like Amici and Oseni as well. I don't know where their heads were today, but they didn't seem to be at the races when they came on either. Everything changed when Pepper went off. Because all the balls that were moving forward weren't being held up. It was just we were losing the ball. Yeah,
and Amici, Andy, he wants to try and take on all 11 players, including the keeper, and try and put it in the back of the net and waste an opportunity. He does the odd good pass and the flick on ball and stuff like that, but it just too many times tries to do all the tricks and then gets caught on the ball and then you lose all potential in the game then.
Yeah, it's just got to keep it simple. Keep it on the ground, pass the ball around like we were doing in parts of the second half. But just forget moving it forward, long diagonal ball, because it wasn't working.
Yeah, I just want to apologise for those that are hearing it or listening in on the podcast afterwards. Sophie is sat there munching her French fries next to me, so it might be getting picked up on my microphone. But yeah, look, it's I've got Ben who wants to say hello. Come on then, Ben. As the kids like to be.
Snoop Dogg.
Silly.
Dog.
Trying to make us all smile, which is fair. Right, let me just read a few more comments as I've lost my way a little bit, but here we go. Right. Sam saying Steve Seagull cracking performance. They did all head over to Thatcher's Bar as well. I'm sure they haven't heard about the food there, so I don't know why they were hanging around there. So they did move from you eventually in the Devonport half. What else we got? Terry Alford saying cleverly said the team stopped doing what they were told to do in the second half. What else we got here? Kami Tarasaki says maybe give Hatch and Finn a chance. Can't be much worse. I think Finn is just so unlucky to be left out. Argo 83, Matt says awful season, constant injuries, results, home form is not being enjoyable. Nicky says the 4th goal shouldn't have been counted. Ross had a boot to the face from Sonny Bradley, no less. And that wasn't great, but I can see where the ref wouldn't have seen it. Andrew T, evening to you. He's not pressing too much. He's probably annoyed that he's the only one doing it. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. Sorry, apologies.
Caleb Watts pressing, probably.
Right, thank you. Baz in the Cloud says, take the positive. Pebbles' goal was a cracker. Yeah, it was another strike outside the box. As was playing corner flag guitar. Yeah, I've got the goal highlights, and you will see that celebration. Green Gruffalo says Pepple is part of the problem. Second half, out on his feet. Maybe fitness will improve. Well, he wasn't in the second half, Pepple. So not right. I'll ignore that one for the minute. David Tom's evening says, Harvey, you sit under a covered end. A figure dropped a present on the arm of a woman who sits next to me just after the start of the second half. Well, there was an omen.
I was hoping the front row were going to get some Carl in the Devonport end. That would have been nice.
To be fair, it was flying in. It was like flying in and coming back out, and as it was going. Yeah, it was good laugh.
Matt Montgomery saying, stop blaming injuries for everything. All right, sorry. Our coaching team appears ineffective in making tactical changes to try and shift momentum. Could have switched Curtis to his favoured right wing, drop Watts back left. Laura Camille, I'm going to come on to the subs with Gavin in a second. Laura Camille, evening from Canada. Evening, guys. When are we going to play 2 halves? Don't look top 6 team. If only play 1 half and switch off. Someone tell Hammond you can call and come for the ball. Let me just scan down a bit more. Mark says, who wanted it today? Not many. Why does TC say that they just aren't going when they are asked? Why? TC, why? And Steve says, I've lost that now. I'm not sure who the Tamat under 15s keeper is, but is he free next week, Carl?
No.
No. Well, you're not getting any games at the moment because
I'd rather have Harvey in goal, if I'm honest.
No.
I'll do the job. I've got the gloves down here. Wait there.
Get him in goal. Get Harvey in goal.
Harvey in goal.
Don't waiting for him to bang his head on that beam.
Then my claim to fame will be good. I taught that Harvey England, who's Argyle's our goalkeeper.
Those gloves look Tesco value, Harvey.
Hey, these are the same ones that Michael Cooper wears. I'll have you know.
Are they?
Is it?
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a better keeper, Harv.
No,
I
was going to say, but Ashby Hammond, I think if we played a game of goalkeeper wars, I think it'd be close.
Love it. Gavin, the substitutions, and you're on mute just in case you didn't realise, because I can see you're on mute. There was that spell when those 2 goals came, where after their second, you could see there was players sort of getting ready at times, but the ball just wouldn't leave our goal mouth, and it was going for corners and all sorts. And obviously, by the time then that corner kick flew straight into the far corner, obviously they were lined up ready to come on. And there's, I don't know how last minute you can change it, but it looked like it was probably too late to do it. Did he leave it too late, or was it just that circumstance where you just couldn't get couldn't see what was coming to get him on? And unfortunately, that's what it is.
I think if it was me, just in hindsight, and it's easy to do shit in hindsight, right? But I would have tried to play on the floor through the thirds with a different set of players, personnel. Once we went 2-1 down and we had no Peppel, so we really affected the first 25-30 minutes because Peppel basically had Sonny Bradley on toast, and he managed to hold the ball up, turn him, because he's got the turning circle of an oil tanker on several occasions in the first half. Because Sonny's not that type of player, he's not as strong, he's not as basically all that Sonny did was pick up Sonny and put him in his pocket and said, "You stay there, sunshine." So you have to play a different way. So for me, Herbie Kane should have come on a bit earlier. Probably Patterson. Potentially Amici, and I think we probably should have then started to play through the thirds like we did when we played 4-2-3-1, and that's what we probably should have done, was played 4-2-3-1. So potentially Watts, Patterson, and Amici in the 2 holding midfielders of Boateng and Kane, Herbie Kane, and then a back 4, and I think that would have given us better chance because they weren't bad on the floor, but they're big guys, and there's no small technical or technicians from them in the middle of the midfield. And I think if we'd had Herbie Kane on earlier, then I think we probably would have got a bit more value at the game. So yes, to a long story answer your question, subs should have been made earlier, in my opinion, but he had a bit of the Wayne Rooney-itis where he's got 2 players stripped. Right, we're going to take the game to these guys, and then you can see the goal while they're stood on the touchline, jumping up and down, and that happened to Wayne probably 5-6 times in his tenure. I remember once at Bristol City when we were 1-1, I think they scored and scored again by the time he came on. So should have been earlier, but you can't play that game plan with Owen Aseni and Caleb Watts up top. You just, because they can't hold the ball. All you're doing is kicking it up, getting it straight back, kicking it up, it's coming straight back. So you have to play a different way, maybe even 3-5-2. I don't know. I'm not paid to make decisions of that nature, but you need to do something to get your foot on the ball in midfield and then transition quickly and go wide and then get some crosses in the box. And we just kept playing as if Pepper was up top, and that was our biggest downfall, I believe, in having no return for our efforts in the
Which begs the question about that alluded striker that we should have gone in for, having another Peppel type of striker, that someone that's got the know-how of these leagues. I think was a little bit naive not to go for another one, to be honest. I know that means dropping another player from the squad again, but
I think if me and had a cock, you'd be my uncle. There's lots and lots of we could have, we should have.
Yeah, I know.
Did.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have said, "Oh, Peppel's going to go off because he split his eye open," because Sonny Bradley's basically kung fu'd him in the face in 40 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever it was. So it is lots of if buts and maybes, but I think you just need a different game plan if you've got 2 strikers up there. Of one of them isn't Peppel, and actually even Talai holds the ball up a lot better than the Senni because he's a lot physically stronger and he can turn players as well. So I think you just need to realise if you'll play Senni as a 9 and then Watts as a false 9, and you try and play a bit more transitional on the deck football through the thirds, and we didn't do that. We just carried on playing as if Pepper was up top, and we got zero return. That was the problem. So yes, should have been earlier the strikers, but I think he was unlucky. The fact that he had them lined up and they, Hammond let one through his hands direct from a corner.
I think, Carl, just to come to you on this further. Obviously, it was Amici and Souks who came on. Just remind me who went off in that.
Edwards and Curtis, was it? Or Dale?
No, it was Dale, wasn't it? I think. Yeah, it wasn't Curtis. Curtis switched sides.
That's right. Yeah, Dale and Edwards.
So, carrying on from Gavin's point of, we were possibly still playing. I think that's a great point. Thinking Pebble was still up front. We saw Amici come on and do nothing in that Stockport game, and only cause problems, which led to the start of the goals down that right side of Argyle's. Souks can actually get forward and can be quite, sort of effective in that. I know he gets a lot of stick from fans, but it was almost like, where was Amici then going to deliver you? And he was also caught out quite early on when he was on. He was too deep and not even up where he needed to be.
Amici's a very frustrating player, and I think he is a luxury. I think he's probably getting more game time because of his pay packet every week, because he's not showing enough quality for me to be getting enough game time. I don't know. He just seems off it. He's not strong enough. He wants to do everything himself. He's very himself over the team. I think he seems to dribble a bit too much and then lose it, or play a shocking pass and lose the ball, and other teams break. He doesn't seem to want to take players on really, or beating them at his near touchline. He seems to want to cut back a lot, which is fine, but he's not doing much with that. But again, he can pop up with the odd goal, which he has done a couple of times this season. He scored one decent one at home. I think one away at Lincoln, was it, in the away fixture? And then up at Donny, he got a goal. So he can get goals out of nowhere, but I just think his overall play at the minute, it's not warranting minutes. And that's why I think Tegan thing is really hard done by at the moment. I think every time we've seen him, 90% of the time, he's very positive. He's young, he's eager. He wants the ball. He's not scared. He will take on players. He will get balls in the box quickly. Yes, he's only 17. Yes, we're not saying playing him week in, week out and damaging his potential, but just to give him some minutes is something. I just don't think he's getting a look in at the minute where we're crying out for someone to get balls in the box. But obviously, Cleverly's got different ideas at the moment. And yeah, I think in the summer I'll be looking for maybe moving him on. So I just don't think he's worth 10k a week. I'm sure we can put that money somewhere else around the squad.
Yeah. Harvey, anything to sort of add on your views on the substitutions?
No, not. To be fair, I think that the bench wasn't too strong. And I mean no disrespect in saying that to the players we had on the bench, and I'm not going to blame the injury crisis because of the result today. But I think the bench, there wasn't really anyone Tom Cleverley could turn around and point at and say, you're going to change the game. Patterson this season, I think, has been more off than on. And struggled to get involved in the game. And the timing, I think that you could have brought the subs on, and the brain farts and the conclusion of the game would have still stayed the same because of the ultimate game plan.
Oh, sorry. I was busy doing something and you stopped quicker than I thought you were going to then. Apologies. Well, look, I'll tell you what, let me just read out the player ratings. I wasn't going to load this up. I haven't got the stats. Evening Jack, by the way, and others that have joined us recently. So I'll just read out the scores, but Hammond, go on, Gav. You're on mute as well if you try to say something.
Yeah, I think we both said at the same time. 4.5 is probably a bit generous, to be honest.
That's one of the lowest, I think, with Edwards and Sorinola, that cup game. So 4.5 for Ashby Hammond. Harding with a 5.8, not the best, obviously, debut. 6.7 for Mitchell, 5.5 for Ross, 5.4 for Edwards. So all scoring besides Mitchell then, below 6 there. Dale, 6.3, still trying to get back into match fitness, in my opinion. 6.4 to Wiradoo, 7.1 to Boateng, another steady game for him. 5.8 for Curtis, who we talked about when he, his first couple of games has been so impactful. I think today, besides one cross, again, which am I being unfair to say, the slow Amici just couldn't get to the back post to smash away. He wasn't really in the game. Watts was 6.6, higher than I would have given him, and Peppel with 7.1, who also got man of the match for only then playing the 40-odd minutes. Just to show you, Nicky, I cut out your son on this because I didn't have time to ask you, but there is Peppel's eye. And that's the reason why he couldn't carry on. So it wasn't because of concussion. Obviously, his left eye swelled up. But if I'm being honest with you, we probably would have still been better if he'd have played with one eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks quite painful. Right, time to do it. Let's run the goal highlights reel and suffer this again. Brilliant control. Smash. Here we go, guitar solo.
Get out of your box, man, and catch it.
So let me just, I don't know if it'll do a replay. If not, I'll roll it back.
It's coming.
So he was causing Boateng big problems. Right, let me just roll it back. So it's hard to say on the pause, but literally to the left of the goal there, it's Boateng in his 34 in front of, or just be alongside Hammond maybe. But he was just shoving each other, and I just felt then in this seat like, oh, this ain't going to end well. But
Boateng doesn't even jump.
No. Well, no,
I'm really funny. If that ball lands in your 6-yard box in the corner and your keeper's behind your own goal line, you've got a problem. Even if he comes out and gets clattered on the way out, he has to do something better.
So I agree. This is the missed pass. So the first goal for them, for me, also came from an unforced error where Watt in the build-up, Watts just hit a straight pass straight to one of Lincoln's players that got them forward and then resulted in the corner and the goal. This is another example, sadly, where unforced error with Harding giving the ball straight to a Lincoln player.
You never recover from this. Never.
But we just didn't deal with it at all, did we?
No.
Statues in the middle, like 5.
And you have to say, on the angle there, you were disappointed. I'm not. This isn't like a LA8 sort of beat up, but you'd be disappointed being beat on that angle, wouldn't you? As a goalkeeper.
Now, I'm going to pause it because if you do want to look away now. But this is now, I can't quite, I thought Hammond touched it when I was sat watching it live. It's hard to see in this clip because of how far back the camera is. But to see a goal going from a corner is no good for anybody. But here we go. And it wasn't even raining at that point.
Yeah, you can't even blame slippery gloves on that
one. No. They did for their first goal. They had it when that rain was pelting it down as well. So
hot jump runs.
Here we go. So there's right there. Sonny Bradley there steps on Ross. Some play goes on. Ping pong. And there's not much you can do about that.
To be fair, we were stupid enough to play on. Not stop there. And the game was over.
That's a great finish. You've got nothing to play there. It's a great finish.
Yeah. So yeah, I think again, it's just two silly mistakes. What's that?
I'm back.
Right. What you pointing at?
I'm just saying I'm back.
Oh, sorry. I didn't notice you'd gone.
There's a compliment.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
I
Backhanded
'cause
again.
obviously I had the videos and that were going on, so I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, so I mean, look, two silly passes. We've seen that before as well. Sadly, it used to be Mumba, but not just Mumba. That then go in and concede the goals. Andy, that's the frustrating bit, isn't it? Is they were unforced.
Yeah.
You know, Harding. I didn't even really look up. Just it was a poor clearance, and then Caleb Watts for their first just literally passed it straight to one of their players.
Yeah, again, this is a total travesty. What's doing? I mean, he's got to find a green shirt. Surely he just didn't look. Did he? He just passed the ball, and as you say, went straight to their player, and that set it off for the goal. And the last goal, the game was done. The game was finished, more or less. And I think there should have been a stop and play. We played on because the ref gave us advantage, but the ref should have thought, "Hang on, head injury. Let's stop the game." Bloke lying on the deck with his head, blood pouring out of his head, whatever. Stop the game, but he didn't. He carried it on, and we paid the consequence.
Yeah, I mean, it's clash of heads is obviously the situation that forces the stop in play, the lines from the ref are going to be following the ball, and sadly, they're not going to see that because he almost sort of. I'm not suggesting and trying to say that Sonny Bradley deliberately stood on him, but you know what he can be like.
We had advantage, and he gave the advantage, thinking we were going to score or produce something, but
Yeah, and Sukes probably should have pushed the ball out wide rather than decide not to and cut in and do ping pong with, I think it was Curtis, and then obviously they broke away. But don't blame Hammond for that one at all. But yes, as Carl's replied, I think, as someone was asking, Tom Roundtree, evening to you, where do you get the highlights? But yeah, Sky Sports, just go on and you'll see them every league game. They don't do the cup ones, but every league game. So we clip it to show you. Right, post-match, let's get the clips that Argyle TV put out of Tom Cleverley first, and then I'll just go straight to Mitchell afterwards.
Gaff, a difficult one, I imagine, for you. What was your take on the game?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I thought we went absolutely away from what's made us successful recently. Second half today. Why that is my job to find that out. Whether it was personnel, whether it was intensity levels or etc. But structurally, we weren't set up well enough to play the style of football we want to play. And that is edge of the seat football, and that is front foot, and that is aggressive. And don't get me wrong, we're playing against the team who's probably best at that style of football in the league. And I thought we competed, and I thought we were matched, and I thought we probably edged the first half and went completely away from it second half. So that is that's my job to find out why that wasn't.
Oh, hang on, I need to change this one because the other slide I got is also Cleverly. But before I actually do that and bring Mitchell in, Harvey has left. Because I think it is at bedtime, isn't it, gents? Gavin, you are still muted, so he has to go to bed. Go on, Gav.
I said, but is Bubble Bath ready? He's just texted me.
Yeah.
Rubber duckies are all lined up. He's got bubble bath time. His hair nice.
Is he hoping you're coming around later to scrub his back?
No, his mum's just pulled him in. The bubble bath's ready, so he's got to go.
Right, let me get Mitchell's video from my screen here. There we go. Let's see what he has to say. Just wait for it to load.
Alex, difficult afternoon. What are your immediate thoughts after that?
Yeah, it's not good enough. 4 goals at home is never good enough. We go 1-0 up, and then they score a set piece, which a couple of boys should take the blame, including myself. And then we just crumble, really, and that's the players. That's us 11 on the pitch. We let them do what Lincoln are so good at, and they're very effective. And we need to eradicate that because it's killing us at the moment. We had over the last 2 months we've been brilliant, and then we lose at Stockport, and you've got to stop the rot. You've got to win this game. We go 1-0 up. And then, we just sink and just...
Oh, there we go.
You know what I like? He always takes accountability, doesn't he? Every time. He always puts his performance above the team's.
Yeah,
because he knows that he knows that they can do better than that. I mean, Mark, just read Mark's comment out. Why doesn't this is in relation to TC? Why doesn't he know? It's because unfortunately he is still not a coach for us and has a lot to learn. Like I said, I think
apparently, Mark, he doesn't need any education. Doesn't need
apparently
any
what? What did you say, Andy? Sorry.
I was saying to Mark that he doesn't need any education. Doesn't need any thought control. Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay, I'm with you now. Matty says, felt Lincoln won every challenge and laid a trap waiting for us to give the ball away. That's one way of looking at it. Andrew T says, the pass out is playing from a right-footed player at left back, not a left-footed player. Clips that and turns the defence. Yeah, so is that the case that he was then, Harding, played in the wrong position? Because I think, Carl, you put him right centre, didn't you? Gavin,
I just think it makes sense playing a player in his natural position. Yes, he can play across the back four, but we've done this enough times this season. We're playing
Who was going to play
left
back then?
Huh?
Who was going to play left back then?
I'd have put Mackenzie in.
He isn't fit enough.
No.
But was he on the bench then?
Hey? Well, because when you bring a player back, we don't have a reserve team. We don't have another 23.
This is the problem. Esen's not fit enough. Watts isn't fit enough. Patterson isn't fit enough. We've got so many players that aren't fit enough that at some point they need to be used to get fit.
No, I understand what you're saying, but you can't just chuck a player in for 90 minutes.
I didn't say 90 minutes. I said he should have started the game and maybe brought him off in 60 minutes. I didn't say 90 minutes. I just thought he should have started Harding in his natural position.
If he was good enough, if he was fit enough to play to start the game, I think he would have started because he's a left-sided defender. But he's clearly not. He hasn't played any football this season.
He's not a left back.
30 minutes.
I was just going to say that, George.
play him there, or play Edwards there. You could have argued that Edwards, because he's a captain of the side and he's been in around, he could have played left side, but he's another right footer, so he might have made that pass. We don't know, do we?
True. Yeah.
So, just for those who are listening, I was just taking the mickey in the background there with my mug of Block 9 mug of tea, which you can also buy. Go to block9.co.uk.
Can we remove that person from the mug, please?
Oh yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah, like it was watching a soap. No, I think. The Mackenzie thing I said on Thursday, I agree 100%. He's not match fit. Could you have started him for a short period? Yes or no? But then I think we wanted to start strong. And yeah, in fairness, then to Harding, I think it's a good point. Terry made out. I think it was that. Then his clearance is not going to naturally come that well on that side. But yes, good little bit of back and forth. But hey, look. We all, Gavin's sitting there going, no, I'm fucking right. I'm right.
No, I'm not saying I'm right. All I'm saying is the justification is the guy hasn't kicked the football all year for us. To chuck him in against second in the league who haven't lost in 11, who are a big physical side, I think would be unfair on the player who's come back. And if he had made that problem, that big mistake, it'd have been, Mackenzie's not good enough, la la la. You've got to build his confidence up. The hindsight thing would have been play Joe at left back, play. And play. I forgot his name. Play him at right back. Sorry, because he's right-footed, and then the older person whose experience basically steps up and plays that position. But he didn't, because he's played left back before. But I didn't think he did that badly. I thought he made 2 errors in the whole game. Cost us a goal.
I think the problem was his game was done when he got that yellow card. I think that took a massive edge off his game. So he couldn't put many challenges in.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, look, the first half when the team were overall better, he likes to get forward. He looks physical, and he
tried too hard early doors. I think that's why berating the referee from 8 yards because of a non-foul on Pepper or the other side of the pitch is him trying to stamp his authority on the game as a newbie. He should have just shut up. If he didn't get
now you've mentioned the referee, apart from the first 10 to 15 minutes, there was a few questionable decisions. I didn't think he was that badly, was he?
No, actually, I did shout for one, and then Andy and Ray turned around and went, no. When Pepple tried to turn his player, I thought the Watts just dived into the player, didn't win it. I thought the ref, overall, as you then alluded to, Kyle, I thought was generally pretty decent.
Didn't do too badly.
The refs we've seen for a while.
Yeah, I thought he was quite good.
Yeah. Gavin, anything that you felt on the referee from your viewpoint today?
Yeah, again, off the ball, Aseni got thrown like a rag doll 3 or 4 times in the first, late in the first half and in the second half. Pepple had a couple of similar ruckuses off the ball with Sonny Bradley, who was just chucking him around. But other than that, there's a low bar, boys, isn't it? It's a really low bar. We've had some horrors. He was probably 6.5 out of 10, but I'd say the referees in the preceding 3 or 4 games were lucky to get above 4.
Yeah.
So he was better than most, but
I'm just going to answer. I don't disagree, Gavin. I'm just going to answer Andy's, as in Ruby and me, Andy's question. He said, "When was the last match we had a full strength side?" When we were performing was Luton. That was when Rules got injured in that first half. That's the one where obviously we were still playing very well and won that game. But sadly, yes, it's then sort of gone a little bit hit and miss afterwards. Obviously with the Mansfield, was it the 1-1 at home, and then obviously the Stockport defeat, and then this one today. Larry W, also from Plymouth, Massachusetts, says, "Do you folks know who is out of contract at the end of the season?" Now, I know Steve, I think, put it in our WhatsApp group with the number of players, but in amongst the 300 million alerts I had after I just had my dinner, I couldn't. All from 299 from Steve. Only joking.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, there's a good core of them out of contract. I know that. It's whether Gavin can find it quickly or not.
So Hazard's one. Ashby Hammond's another. Such is another.
Edwards.
This is coming off the top of my head now. Belarus was another.
Edwards.
Rolls is another. Edwards is another. I think that might be
Rolls is only to the end of the season again.
Yeah, Rolls. I said Rolls. So Rolls is another. Edwards is another. I think. And then we've got Dale going back to his parent club. Mitchell going back to his parent club. And then the 3 guys we've just.
Is Galloway? Has he got another year?
Galloway's got another year.
Galloway's got another year.
I think.
Yeah. So there's a few. So it is a chance to clear out. I think didn't Cleverly say 7? Was it 7 players that were signed prior to him joining or were in? And so that previous recruitment situation, it didn't help, did it at all? So there are, and I'm not denying that tactically Gavin summed it up very well for the substitution side. I think there is a bit of naivety in that, but equally, as a manager, you're not expecting your team to put in some of the best performances in the first half in these last few games and then literally just within 10 minutes collapse and fold. So difficult. 10 out of contract, Steve Vaughan has put in there. I don't know how many it was then Gavin read out. Patterson, is another one. Good spot. All 3 keepers, Andy says, are out of contract.
Let them go. Well, Zach Baker I keep, but
that might be a blessing.
I'll get rid of all of them.
Be careful what you wish for.
He's been kept on for years now, and they just don't seem to want to use him, do they? So just he's early 20s now. Clearly, he's not good enough, or not seen to be wanting to push him forward to the first team. So cut your losses.
So I've got the list: Ashby Hammond, Hazard, Baker, Edwards, Sorinola, Such, Galloway is there, Rowles, Belarus, Patterson. And then we've got loans going back of Mitchell, Dale, Kane and Harding.
And now out of them, how many do you re-sign?
I would re-sign Saranola if we're in League One. Such if we're in League One, although I don't think he'll be staying. I don't think he's that happy. Galloway definitely in either way, League One or League One.
Yeah.
Rolls definitely. I'd offer him an extension. And then I would offer Mitchell a contract tomorrow. I haven't seen enough of the 2 other guys yet, but I think from what I've seen them, I'll offer them both a contract. Kane and Harding.
Just to answer Ben Bennett's question there, mate. Do we think Hammond's good enough, or is Hazard better? I think Hazard is better because in the last 4 games, Hammond's conceded 10 goals. In Hazard's previous 4 games, conceded 1. So do the maths.
Yeah, but and it's not. I mean, I've been wanting to see a bit more of Hammond because of his distribution, but I brought it back, balance that point, if you could call it that, earlier on, in the sense of that's when we had those our strong side, and naturally, then when you are leading from the front, high pressing, and you've got an experienced player like Rawls in midfield, you do keep a lot of the chances out, and I think when you think about it, and I could be wrong here because my memory is not always the best. is, I don't think opposition teams had too many chances against us that the keepers have had to pull off. They've had the odd couple of good saves, but it just goes to show then when you're not playing right, and the balls then just keep coming in, it's going to end up in goals. And sort of Gavin said this in the lobby with me before we went live, and it was like we've just played 3 really good teams in form. And if you've looked at our performances at home or even away, I've said many a time on here, or even the watch along, or even at the ground, like if teams could finish, like we would be more goals behind. If we could finish, we would have buried games. But when teams do finish, we do then seem to struggle because give them a sniff. And in reality, I think that was the second chance that Lincoln had in the first half. One very early on with the ball into the box. I don't think Hammond had to pull off a save though. No. And then obviously one right at the end of the half, and they get the goal from it. So and
they were clinical today, weren't they? Let's be candid, Gav. And they were absolutely clinical today.
That's what they've done all season, mate. They haven't made 20 chances and scored 1. They've made 2 or 3 and scored 2 or 3. They're the most effective side I have seen at home park all year.
Yeah, and 18 goals have come from set pieces, as Steve said earlier on the show. And
they're very much like Derby were, who went up last year, or 2 years ago? Who went up 2 years ago, sorry. Very much like the Derby team that went up 2 years ago. Really, really big, really physical, really effective.
Yeah. And I think, actually, Gavin, sort of thinking about the game as I left and how effective they were and how physical they were with those set pieces, it just goes to prove in this league it isn't about pretty football. And actually, if you can just set yourself up, one thing we've lacked so much, and the balls into the box have improved since Curtis came in, and ironically then has improved it from Sorinola. But we still don't have that height or physicality, really, do we, in those set pieces? So, we get some, Galloway got a couple of goals, but we've struggled there. Whereas clearly, if you set yourself up for it...
it's a bit like under Muzic, wasn't it? We didn't play pretty. We defended well, and
Pepper's the only target man we got at the club at the minute, and he played really well, and that's why we were so good in the first sort of 15-20 minutes of the game, because everything was going to Pepper, like everything was sticking. We looked dangerous, and we scored from it, and as soon as he went off, it just went like sandcastles at hand tide, high tide.
Yeah, we'll see what.
We're going to use it, get it right.
I know, I'm going to get it right, Gav. I haven't got that fluency like you.
They're a good side. They're a really good, effective side. They're going to go up. They're going to have a really big think in the champ, because if they play like that, then they're going to come unstuck. But they're a really effective side for this level.
Very good manager as well.
We were linked to in the summer.
Excellent setup. Look, the only thing I'd say, their fans are pretty quiet for a team that was second. That came down in, what was it, 8? How many did they take down? 1,000, was it? 1,500, something like that? They weren't all that effective. But, it is what it is. But they're a good seed, and I wish them all the best rest of the season, because I didn't leave that thinking, oh, horrible bastards, they kicked us up and down and spoilt for time and la. They were a very effective team, and you have to sort of doff your hat in their general direction and say, we were beat up.
If it was us, then we'd be praising that, wouldn't we? But it wasn't us. We got battered. You're right.
No, and I think, and obviously Skubala was, who's their manager, was one of those, Carl, that you always brought up in conversations when we were out hunting. But again, if you can't get the players to play your style, and that's where you've got to give Cleverly some rope to sort of, because he hadn't had, like I said, 7 of those players weren't his. Then if Skubala came in that setup, he wouldn't be able to play that way, because we wouldn't be effective either.
He might be better tactically, but I still think he would have run into trouble with the personnel. Definitely.
This season's been poor because we've had such a large contingent of our key players injured, right? And I know, that's an excuse, and
second season running.
But when you're having to turf out some of the players we've turfed out week in, week out, and you've got the quality, sitting in the physio bench, it's challenging. Which is why I'm quite confident for probably after Blackpool, you get everyone back, and you've got what will be starters now, probably not even getting a peg on a Saturday in the changing room. That's what I think when we'll see, because everyone will be pushing hard for a place. And we had this with Miron when everyone was fit. We had our form was like 8th or 10th in the division in the champ, with a team of ragtags really, but because they were all fit at the same time, played the same way, and all pushed each other at training every day, we were a much better team. So I think we'll be fine the rest of the season. today was a step too far.
Yep. I'm just going to read out the table, or just give you a summary of the table, I should say. So Cardiff won today as well, so they still stay top, but Cardiff on 63 with Lincoln on 61. The last place for the playoffs is 6, isn't it? Yep. So that is 49 points. Yeah, we're 12 behind that. I think it is 37. We're in 60. So I think, was it 14th before? So we dropped a couple of places after those 2 defeats. So the playoffs is a little bit out of sight, but just going to say this league has been a really random one and it could still change, but we have to find our form, of course, because equally as dangerous, 32 points is the last spot for the relegation zone. There in 21st place with Burton, who drew today. Actually, the bottom 4, Burton drew, Wigan lost massively. Was it 6-1 or 6-2 to Peterborough? 6-1. So I don't know if he's been sacked yet or not, Ryan Lowe. Rotherham lost and Port Vale with a draw earlier on in the early kickoff today. So, yeah, Exeter did draw 0-0 as well to Mansfield. So neither of those teams, a bit like when we played them and obviously got a score draw, couldn't outdo the other. So they're on 38 and 39. So it is between that sort of, where is it? Sort of 40 points. It's only a couple of games and you jump a few places. But teams have got games in hand still, as we know. So
we want to jump the right way there.
Not ideal. Say again?
We want to jump the right way.
Yeah, well, that could, because if we don't sort out this issue with the second half, and like I said, players might come back. Rules are still a few weeks away. Talai hopefully will be back for next weekend's away tie at Blackpool. Sorinola obviously has his second suspension for that game, so it won't be also someone picked that and reminded us in the chat thread earlier. So yeah, and you just got to hope you don't incur any more injuries. So it's a week to deal with it on the training pitch and see if we can find, what is the cause behind all that. I am also, just bear with me, I'm going back to this Pepper image. For those of you that haven't seen it, there's his eye, because I just want to replace the image with another one. So bear with me. I just got to find where I saved it. So yes, obviously there was a minutes of applause later in the second half, and obviously the game started. Oh, there we go. A minute late in celebration of, if you want to call it that. But yes, Gareth Hussey, Big G, massive Argyle fan who sadly passed away recently. So you would have seen his picture up on the big screen at the time, and at least the Lincoln fans knew clearly what was going on, because the Argyle fans didn't at Stockport, no matter what their fans would like to moan about. So yes, a shout out there to him.
I thought it was really well received as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
even the referee stopped the game, didn't he?
Yes, thank you, Carl. Yeah,
Delazouz tipped one over the bar from the one that came over, didn't he? And then they stopped the game for the minute, which was really good.
Yeah,
so nice touch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and fair play to the ref. Like I said, I felt he was pretty good throughout, so that was good. Right, I'm just sort of going to come to. We've just broken over the hour, so we were wondering how long tonight's one would be. I'm just checking. I do have one more video actually, because our American friends, there's many that watch, and a few of them are in our WhatsApp group, so you can join us in our WhatsApp Block 9 community. It is invite only. If you send us and DM either one of us on the chat, then we will happily look at bringing you in. Those of you that do contribute a lot to the chat and to the show, then we want to bring you in. We had that Discord, if you remember, but effectively, everybody's on WhatsApp 9 times out of 10, and it's much easier to chat. Although, like I said, you could go away for 5 minutes and come back with 3 million chats notifications. But one of the guys in there is we got Brian and Larry from Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, and also Eric. I don't think Eric is in this clip, but Brian sent this to me earlier, so I'm going to play it. So here we go. Come on.
Hey, Mike, it's Brian with Eric, Larry, Gene, Plymouth Argyle, USA. We're doing our little fun activity right here. Yes. Okay, look at this beautiful. We're at Eric's house. He's hosting. Thank you, Eric. Look how we have our little swag, our gear. But give us a big shout out. We're looking forward to being on the podcast. The team's ready. We're ready. Come on, you.
And obviously, clearly, that was before we lost. before kickoff. So we will get the guys on as well soon, so we can have a bit of a chat with them over there. So Eric was in there. Sorry, I didn't. When I listened to it earlier, I didn't hear that. I'm not sure if it was left to right, but Brian, you could probably tell us, or Larry in the chat, who was who. But I just love how they all go all out when they're watching the games over there. If you were with us last Saturday, they were also at a local meetup. They do them in a lot of the states, where Argyle's got a good representation, and they get together. And Brian sent us a video when they were walking through. I think maybe, Brian, don't send me the video next Saturday, because that's twice now and we've lost both games. Yeah,
don't do it.
Don't do it. So
Send
but I
send
love.
us
I mean,
one where you're celebrating a win, not the one beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. Yeah, save it to a full-time decent result. It's obviously Super Bowl 160, whatever it is, tomorrow as well. So they'll be doing. They love to do all the jazz and razzmatazz, and you can see it there. I love that setup that they have.
Great gig in the sky, apparently.
It's what? Sorry.
It's a great gig in the sky, apparently.
I just can't. I can't. American football, just a constant stop-start. And also, what a brilliant win in the rugby today. I don't know if we've got any Welsh fans in the house tonight. What was the final score, Gavin, on that? I didn't watch it till the end, but it was a big number. You're on mute again.
It's 43-7 or 47-7.
Yeah, I did see
Wales
get a try. Argo 83 saying, I've got family in the States. When I go over there last few years, people will shout out Argyle if I have my shirt on. So they are about the American fans. Michael Hort saying they should do an American block 9. Well, there might be something that we'll be sort of doing. Brian and I are talking about a little bit later, but we will get them on at some stage as well to sort of say hello, because it's good. The far and wide breadth of the Argyle fan base. 48-7. Andy's confirmed the rugby score. Yeah. What else we got? Matt Montgomery says Lincoln are a club I have fond memories of visiting, with a moat effectively surrounding the ground. Okay, interesting tidbit there. What else we got? Graham saying poor buggers to the video from Brian. We got Mark saying excellent respect with regards to Gareth Hussey, and it was all around the ground. Sorry. Mark saying the problem there is the endless river of injuries that just keeps happening. Andy, over to you. What else have we got? Just checking the. Do we think TC makes it through to the 26-27 season? Yes. Not being a happy clapper, but yeah, they won't get rid unless we have a massive collapse for the end of the season. Touch wood that we don't. But I'm sure, actually, I'll just do this. Some people might want to throw him out of a helicopter. I have a door. Oh, you can't see it.
Green screen, Mike. Green
screen. Green
But
screen.
for those that have seen my Merlin helicopter random door purchase, you could use that.
Well, since you purchased that, we've lost both games. I mean, you should sell it.
yeah. Well, I'll jump out of it. So final thoughts to wrap up, because clearly Brian's disconnected and Larry has in Boston, because none of them are coming back to confirm who was the left to right. Anyway, and Gavin, give us your final thoughts before we head into a week break for the next game.
So, obviously disappointing today. Am I overly panicking? No. Am I having a
yes?
Am I going to piss the bed right wet through because I want TC to go and Simon's not, put enough money in the squad and the infrastructure is too strong and Derek runs the team and all the other crap has got no. We've got some really good players coming back, as they've just said, Bradley Himran being one of them next week. They've probably got 5 of the 7 back next week. And then Saranola's out for another week with suspension. And then Rolls, I think, will be the only one that will not be available for selection. Rolls Galloway. Although, actually, Galloway was in Diamond earlier, and he said that he'd be back in 1 to 2 weeks. So I think everyone's back within a week or 2. We've then got a really strong squad. It's then up to TC to put that squad together and get the best tune out of that team that he can. And I think we'll be fine from next week onwards. But it was one step too far today. I'm looking forward to some more positive weeks in the future where we can beat a few teams up, because I think we've played a lot of good teams the last few weeks. We've gone on a good run. We haven't become crap overnight. Today was an anomaly. Let's just hope that a certain 6'13" Northern Irishman who lives quite close to me doesn't step over any drains in the next few weeks in terms of luck, and stays fit for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, fair enough. Carl, from you, please.
Yeah, pretty much like what Gavin said. I think obviously we've got a lot of players returning in the next one or 2 weeks. Obviously we'll have Connor Hazard back for Blackpool. Hope to God Tolly's back for Blackpool. Just get back to basics, really. I think once Hazard comes back in goal, I think the defence will probably feel a bit more at ease. I'm still inclined to put Harding in his natural position at centre back. If that means dropping Ross, so be it, and starting Mackenzie. I'm still beating that drum for the minute. I just don't think Harding at left backs is going to work. But maybe that yellow card, probably in the back of my head, that's potentially why he had a poorer game. And yeah, let's just hopefully get back on the positivity train. I think if we go three games on the bounce with a loss, we're going to start falling down the league, and that relegation spot's going to be more prominent than it was a few weeks ago. And it's Valentine's Day as well, so we don't want miserable wives, do we, after another defeat on Valentine's night?
No, I think they don't want miserable husbands, Carl, is the right way to put it.
Well, they'll be miserable because we'll be pissed off. So, yeah, swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Andy, your final thoughts, please.
Yeah, just like everyone's disappointed today. I knew it was going to be a tough match. I didn't think it was going to be that tough. I thought we held our own in the last few weeks. Could have done better at Stockport last week, but Lincoln are a good side. They're up there for a reason. Just hope we can sort of regroup and when the players come back and start performing again, start pushing up the table rather than looking down over our shoulder. Other than that, good night. Really, it's a good night from me and a good night from him.
Good night from me. Good night from him. Brian just confirmed left to right. Eric, Gene, Larry, and Brian. So Gene isn't in our chat though, Brian. So are we going to bring him in as well? Great podcast, guys. Full House 2. It was good to have Harvey back in as well. Hopefully the bath is still full of bubbles, Harv. So look, from me, I
don't exist
today.
clearly.
I was gutted today. What are you pointing at, Carl?
Andy's.
Hello.
Oh, you just did yours? Did you not?
No, but you said it's good to have full house with Harvey in again. You didn't mention the grumpy loyal coming back from his illness.
Because you're a regular. You just had man flu like Gav. You're back now.
Fair enough. I'll let you off.
I was going to say, I thought I haven't missed him for his final thoughts, so I'm going absolutely mental. Anyway, but yes, look, it was disappointing. You don't want it to go 3 games on the trot. Obviously, we'll discuss lineup potentials and see who wins that battle. Gavin and Carl, the lineup debate Thursday on the Live Lounge. But yeah, George. I think the key thing is to sort the performance out. If we do come away without a result, then I want to see 90 minutes of good effort. But it could be disastrous. But let's not go there. Let's not go there. So for me, it is a case of, like Gavin, just being patient. It's not all doom and gloom yet. And it's why I stay off those platforms. Obviously, we're talking to a lot of you that are on X, and we really appreciate that. But for me, I've got better things to do than just suffer and read a lot of that. That's just my personal choice. I do enough to give my views on here as the guys do. Debbie Firth saying, great podcast. See you all soon. Harvey went Christmas shopping again. He's getting it in early, Mike. Absolutely. Mark says, cheers, guys. Shine on. So we will be back on Thursday at 8:30 again. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. And thanks for that, Carl. And if you're on the other platforms, follow and retweet. The Facebook community is also going big and strong. It was Andy, sorry. It was Andy who reminded me to subscribe. I tell you what, before we sign off, hang on, let me just check, because we were one away from 600 on YouTube, which is massive. 603 is what we have. Thank you to those 4 that subscribed tonight. So I can now sleep easy at night, wondering when we'd tick over.
Also, good luck to the ladies tomorrow in their game.
Yeah, thanks for
Gwalior.
that, Carl. Just
Keep the
remind
top
us
spot.
again who they're playing.
Gwalior
Well, yeah.
That's it.
is the cast off from Cardiff, so they play such.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, Heather will join us again on Thursday to see how they did. And fingers crossed. Yeah, Mike just making it up for Andy there at the end. So anyway, let's see you next time. Good night. Thank you very much. And until Thursday, have a good rest of your weekend. Cheers all.
Good night, everyone.
See you later.
Good night.